All right, and the bunker starts now and begin.
The cyberpunk one, right?
Hey, everybody.
Cyberpunk Digit.
Cyberpunk.
Oh
my gosh.
Card.
Guys, we're really excited to say Digit's joined us on the show today.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Hi, Digit.
I'm so glad to be here.
Wow, we were so happy to have you as a guest on this week's episode.
Wow.
So we want to hear about your role. You played yourself.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you do to prepare for the role?
I like sat in my chair and I was like, Digit, who even are you right now? And then I did it.
Wow, and it was incredible because we were like, hey, this is a fantasy show. We usually, we play characters that are not ourselves. You know, my name's Joe. I'm a human, but then in the show I play Callie's a half-elf. And you just said, you know what?
I'm gonna be Digit.
I'm going to be Digit.
I mean, what could be better than being Digit?
Wow, what could?
I have a wonderful life.
Yeah. Now, Digit, did you ever get that hoverboard?
Well, no, because this isn't real, Joe.
Right. It's not real.
Well, yeah. So I was just like pretending to want a hoverboard.
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
See you, Digit.
Well, that was weird.
That was a little strange. I'm not
I
gonna
kinda
lie.
didn't
We
like
should,
it.
guys, throw it on the bit, the
Throw
bit
it on
chart.
the bit list.
Of
The
like-
bit
I'm
list.
gonna be honest.
Interviewing characters
Interviewing
from the previous
NPCs.
episode.
I don't know if I like. I don't know if I like the interaction between real life and characters.
It's a little
Dude,
weird.
it's kind of
Yeah.
awesome.
We
Like,
need to
though.
separate
when you
it here a
start when you start this. Wow, why was my S like? When you start the session, I feel like you're like, okay, this
I'm in
is-
it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
But
into make believe. And so that weird little line that was just
We broke the fourth
But
wall.
it's also kind of like a Who Killed Roger Rabbit scenario where
Yes.
you're like interviewing, it's kind of awesome. We interview a character from the last
I
episode.
kind of think that's funny, bro.
Oh my god.
I hate
throw
it
on
and
the
I like
rotation
it.
every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah, whatever.
I heard Digit might be back next week.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's too much.
He said he'd be in the area. He said he'd...
Oh,
Take
my
back
gosh,
that invite.
really?
He'd hover
Yeah.
around,
Yeah. Maybe we just make Digit a recurring bunker guest.
Yeah, I like that.
That could be fun.
That could.
So when you were like, since we're talking about Digit though, this was one of my questions that I had coming into this.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
How much did it hurt your throat when you were doing Digit?
It like didn't feel great, but it was okay.
I
Okay.
feel like a lot of your NPCs, like they sound like they're great voices. They all, or a good number of them, especially the ones that we tend to love,
Yeah.
sound like they could potentially be
hurt
hurting
me.
your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all on you, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
And so if it's not hurting your voice, that's kind of impressive. That
yeah.
you're
I
doing
mean, I guess I'm still doing okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't really like. This is a weird thing to say. I just like don't really know how to do different voices. I'm not very good at accents. I feel like the like quote accents that I do end up just being a combo of like every accent on the globe, and it's just like, Alyssa, what are you doing? And so I'm like, okay, I need to just make my voice sound different rather than doing accents.
Yeah.
And I haven't
I do
like,
the same thing.
I haven't taken the time to like practice enough how to make my voice sound different. So it's usually just like add some gravel and sound strained, and then it's something new.
I remember
So it's like, oh, okay.
way back in the day.
I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
like I should practice that a little more. Than
way
I do.
back in the day, I think Laura ran a one-shot for me, you, and like one other friend. And you played a character named Angus Beef.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I played Angus Beef.
It was
the
it was
dwarf.
at Josiah's house.
Yeah.
It was a dwarf warlock.
It was.
Yeah,
it
it was that time that you
you
guys
three
played D&D at my
and-
house without me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there.
Oh,
That's
you
right,
weren't there?
there.
Yeah.
Josiah.
He
There was,
wasn't there.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think you were
why
house
weren't
sitting or
you-
something.
Oh, that's right. I was house sitting.
Yeah, so
That's
we went
right.
there, and then Laura made a one-shot where we killed a lot of kids.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
I
Joe,
fireballed.
you're taking that out of context.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just kidding, I'm just
It
kidding.
was the whole thing.
I had
Completely
a
out of
one shot
context.
essentially where they had to go and find the there was a curse on a nearby ruin and it was
Yeah.
affecting the village, so the villagers put their money together to hire you guys to go figure out what the curse was and destroy it. And as you went along, there was this little dog that I named Bucky.
Oh
Bucky
yeah,
was there.
because Bucky was
I don't
there.
remember that.
And you guys were like, I just put it in and I pretended that it was just like inspiration from being around the real life Bucky. And but then it turned out that it was a twisted druid cult, like
That's right.
the druid cult that had
I
gone
do
sour,
remember.
and so the
Yeah.
whole time Bucky was actually a spy,
That's right.
and it was like a bunch of like brainwashed kids in this like druid cult.
Yeah, it was
thing.
awful.
but then we
but
started
then-
fighting them all.
You know, but then it was. I mean, you guys decided.
I think someone threw a fireball.
It was
and,
me.
like,
I threw a fireball at all the birds, and they ended up being kids, and they fell
That's
out of the
right.
sky.
Because the animals were all kids.
But I think you guys knew at that point.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I want to say you knew.
Wait, what were you gonna say about Angus beef?
Well,
Angus
he also
beef,
was just
wow.
like, I'm Angus beef.
Yeah, because like, what else do I do?
Yeah,
I don't
you do
know.
the scratchy voices.
Yeah,
Can you growl when you sing?
I don't know. I feel like every time I've tried, when I'm by myself, I sound like I'm trying too hard.
Because I like know a few people who have the vocal prowess to do that. I've never ever been able to do it, and I feel like the voices that you do, I actually probably couldn't do.
Oh,
Like I feel like
interesting.
you hit this gravelly thing that you can do that I have no ability.
Well,
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, kind of.
Alyssa, can you scream? Like screamo scream?
I don't know. Maybe
You should learn.
I probably can.
probably could.
secretly.
Secretly? Secretly, you're in a metal band?
Yeah,
That would be absolutely
That'd
metal.
be awesome.
I would love that.
It would in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
So true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, before we move on, guys, let's do everyone's favorite segment, the trivia, before we forget.
Ooh la la.
I actually don't. That's not my favorite
Josiah goes, don't speak for me.
because it just reminds me of how little I listened to last season.
Just, I don't have
Yeah.
much going for me. This trivia question that I bring every week is the only thing I look forward to.
Kristen may have other things to say about that.
I don't know who that is.
Are we?
I'd like to solidify what I said yesterday or
I
2
beg
days
to-
ago
you
to
know,
you and
I
Kristen
beg-
is that I'm a better girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, you said that in church.
What in the world?
Yeah,
I
what
don't
a
know
wild
if
thing to
I
say
don't-
in a church, dude.
I don't know if I wanna
asked-
know that.
I asked my girlfriend when her final days of school were.
When her finals are,
And she said it, and then Alyssa goes, I have that in my calendar.
and I pulled up my calendar and I said, it's right here. I'm the better girlfriend.
and I said, I should put that in my calendar.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, here's the question this week. So listeners, on the show, on The Bunker, we're doing trivia questions about the previous volume, the previous season. And so this week we are doing Chapter 10, June Decides to Buy a Motorcycle. So, in Chapter 10, June decides to buy a motorcycle. The group finds themselves in a large city in the middle of the night. They go to a smoke shop, they go to a strange restaurant with an interesting twist, and eventually meet Caspian, who's one of the original members of the Order of Moths. A lot happens on this trip, but what was the original task assigned to them?
That's crazy.
For the first time, I'm confident that I'm the only one who's going to know the answer to this.
That'd be true.
And listeners, feel free to send us a text. We cannot respond even if we wanted to. But send us a text, leave a comment, send us a message on Instagram what your answer are, and we will reveal the answer at the end of this bunker.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you text us, I will respond on podcast. So, there you go.
That was really good timing with that music.
I know.
Well,
Dang.
they're still deep in thought on this. This was a good one.
I just don't know.
Wasn't this?
I think she just realized what
She
it is.
just realized what it was. She just got it.
Yep. She got it.
She just got it. Okay, let's move
Wait,
on.
can I talk about it?
No.
No.
Because
No.
that's something
You
I
can't
know
at the
this
end
one-
once
You
we
can't
do the
say
trivia.
anything
You
that's
can't
in
say
your brain
anything.
related to the question.
You cannot
right
say
now.
anything. You can't say anything. Laura just got it. Okay,
funny.
let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
What did we do next? Oh, we talked about the episode.
Yeah.
So,
I cannot remember.
Laura, we'll give you a minute.
observatory breaks down.
Oh my gosh. I think I might remember.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Observatory breaks it down.
The observatory breaks it down.
The observatory
Cyberpunk
breaks it
style.
down sexual style.
Sexual style.
You can see him out in the yard busting it down.
We meet Digit and we meet, what's the other? Tonsil.
No!
Tonsil?
no!
What was her name? Tansy.
Tansy.
Pansy.
Remember? There
Tansy,
there's a
she
whole
was
joke.
cute. I
You
thought she
called
was
her
really-
tonsil, and
Yeah, and you fell out of your chair.
I thought it was the funniest thing that happened that night.
You thought that was the funny thing that's ever happened in your life.
It was.
Okay.
Wow.
It was also just the best night of my life.
Well, a lot happens in this episode. Immediately, Josiah goes, "This is the best night of my life."
Yeah.
Josiah said tonsil instead of tansy. I'm done.
Oh,
Yep,
man.
This is it.
This
The
is
best
it.
thing that's ever
I'm-
happened to
I'm
me
peaking
was
right
my friend
now.
said this funny thing on this episode of this D&D podcast. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh,
I started
God.
crying.
Oh God.
He did start crying.
Yeah.
So a lot happens on this episode. So the observatory breaks it down.
I broke down, actually.
Josiah broke down.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun because I feel like the observatory has always felt like this like ultimate, all-knowing sort of indestructible thing being. And I feel like
Yeah,
now
maybe.
it feels a little bit more.
It can be destroyed.
It just
Or
feels
can
like a
be-
being still, but like one
It's
that can
weaker.
die.
Yeah, there just feels like I feel like the group, like it almost gave autonomy to the group in a way of like we're not just being thrown around by the whirlwind because the whirlwind clearly has weaknesses here.
Yeah.
And like yes, we've been following it, but like I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was a fun addition, Alyssa.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I had fun with it. I don't even know when or how it came to me. I just was like, oh, it's breaking down. The power's out.
She thought of all her one-shot ideas like in the voice of Digit in her head.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, remember when I spoke as
power's out.
I spoke as
zoinks!
I used Digit's voice trying to speak as Juniper at one point
Yeah.
in the episode.
And you go, I bet Digit likes that.
yeah, I was like, oh, I bet Digit would like some of those.
And we were like, you would, Digit? You're speaking first person?
That's third person,
yeah.
actually,
Third
Joe.
person? I'm sorry?
Actually, Joe, that's third person.
Actually,
I looked it up, and I'm right.
I'm just trying to bring value. So I don't know why I'm getting attacked.
well, you didn't bring any value, so how do you feel about that?
Just trying to bring value to the listeners, man.
Man.
I like the idea that Digit is Alyssa, your just inner monologue voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
You know, I felt like
Kinda makes sense,
it was
too.
my
Yeah.
inner monologue, and it was all the little kids in my life. You know, I was like
Yeah.
trying to like I have a lot of little friends, and I felt like I was I don't know, I was trying to like think of how they would like see the world a little bit, and I didn't do it as well as I wanted to, but yeah,
No, it was pretty fun.
it's fun.
Love it.
He's a little businessman, but like not. And then he owns a garage, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he lives on the street, but he also has a garage.
It feels like the kind of thing that you would come up with as like a 10-year-old playing outside with your friends, like we live in a city.
Yeah.
Okay, I own the garage.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're my friend Tansy, and you own the
You own
potion
the
shop.
potion shop.
And then
you
there's
like
that old lady
100%.
that's cool.
Yeah.
100%.
That's how it felt to me.
That's
Yep.
so right.
Yeah.
I miss those days as a kid when you just like,
If you guys can hear that background noise, that's Josiah eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out.
Yeah.
as you know, as he always does.
As
on
he
the
always does
bunkers.
every episode.
It's,
At this point, you know that.
It's tradition now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if you don't know what the crunching of
I like
paper
how
is.
you're talking about me like I'm like some sort of zoo exhibit. Yeah, this is what he always does this.
yeah.
Now if you look over here, you'll
Josiah.
see he's breaking down the final taco before he eats it. You'll see how he cracks open that little sauce packet and kind of puts it in there. That's just we don't know why, he just always does that.
Now,
You know, on
watch
the
what he
pod-
does here.
Watch what he does.
Can we just make sure, on the podcast that he's,
He's
well
well fed.
well fed. We try to keep it.
Stop.
No.
Boo.
What was I gonna say?
well fed, well hydrated with his Baja Blast. He's
Natural
got
habitat.
plenty of room to move.
And then he gets in his hamster wheel.
Yeah. That's his hamster wheel.
Yep.
He only goes in it for a second, though.
And then so then we meet a lady who might have been a cyber hag lady,
Yes,
then-
I loved her.
who then
She was so
had
cool.
more mist that somehow like juiced the
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
thing.
interesting because I'm curious of how she came by that.
yeah.
Whether it was another off-worlder that had traveled by some whirlwind device,
Yeah.
or whether you know, the whirlwind is made of some sort of actual like natural resource that only the most powerful magic users can collect. Like,
that's a good point.
it just put a lot of things in play,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
It was fun. And the design that you like mentioned with her, like the way you described her, I was like, oh, I loved her. I thought she was so
Yeah,
cool.
I
she's fun.
enjoyed her a lot.
Cyber Hag is a fun idea.
Alyssa loves the hags.
She does.
Guys,
She played a hag.
I played a Hexblood in our last home campaign, and I miss it so much. Like playing this like battle between good and evil, and like she ended up going full hag in the end. And gosh, I had so much fun playing that.
Yeah. And like the lore that you can play with of like history, background, all that stuff.
Oh my
is
gosh,
so
Yeah.
I miss that character a lot.
And the deals, like I loved how in the beginning, because we didn't know of her history, you would like give us handshakes, and Joe was DMing at the time. He'd be like, you get like a weird tunnel vision because
Yeah.
you just like shook her hand. And we'd all be like, what is going on? Like none of
Yeah.
us knew enough about hags at the table to really pick up on it. You know?
And then we sat down, or kind of, Alyssa and Hunter, our friend Hunter, shout out Hunter, we're both Hunter. Thank you.
I was waiting for it.
We're both
God.
Hexbloods and like hag people, and we made like a whole list of like abilities that they got
at each level.
At each level, based on if they had a deal with somebody.
It was so
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Which
I
was,
wish
like,
I'd
super
utilized that a
wild.
little more.
Yeah, it was hard to make to homebrew because I didn't want to make it like
OP.
super OP broken,
Yeah.
but still feel like this is actually an interesting topic that we should talk about with homebrewing stuff and coming up
Yeah.
with magic items and stuff. For me, tell me if you think of this differently. But for me, when I think of like magic items and my favorite magic items, they're always magic items that are only going to be used maybe like once or twice,
Yep.
but are going to be like a huge like brain blast idea
Yeah.
of like this is such a fun, great, like creative idea to use this
Yeah.
thing. Like I like all the magic items that seem like they serve almost no purpose other than one specific thing.
Yeah.
But when the players come up with a super brilliant creative way to use it, it's
Yeah.
like really interesting.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like for
Yeah.
example, in our first campaign, I don't know if you guys remember, you had a bell of like unringing. And you guys went to rob a place, and if the bell rang, then basically this magical shield went up, and you guys rung the bell and it's this magical bell that stopped all bells within like a mile radius from ringing.
Yep.
When they started, like there was
Yep.
no noise,
Yep.
and so you guys rung the bell while the bell started ringing, and it silenced the bell.
Yep.
And it was like that kind of stuff. I think is so
Wait.
much fun.
Did
So
we use
cool.
that for the heist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So like
At
it's like
the-
things
yeah.
like that.
that heist was crazy.
That was wild.
That heist was crazy.
But like that kind of stuff, I think is so fun. Where
I
it's
think-
like, if you can think of a way to use this, great. But if you never do,
Yeah.
oh well. But
Yeah.
like for example, there's a really famous Critical Role moment. Shout out Critical Role.
Yeah.
Where
Critical Role!
thank you. Where Scanlan teleports into the middle of a dragon and puts an unshakable rod, which is
Yeah.
a rod with
Unmovable,
an
unmovable.
unmovable rod, which is a rod with a button on it, and if you press it, it cannot move. There's nothing in the world that can move the rod.
Yep.
And he teleports into the middle of a dragon and presses the button and then teleports out. And the dragon literally just can't move because if it moves in any direction, this rod's gonna like rip its guts out, and it's just like stuck there forever. And I just think like moments like that are just like,
Yeah.
cool.
that's so
Where
great.
you use things interestingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I am really bad at doing that with spells. I love doing that with
Sure.
stats.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out like an interesting way of like, okay, well, these are my character's strengths. So if I do this, it'll be this type of role. So let me try it.
Mhm.
And I know I have a good modifier. Like I like doing it with the character build, but when it comes to actual spells, I am so that's why I don't usually play spellcasters. I like to play rogues and like monks and I haven't played a fighter yet, but that's probably going to be something I play soon. Because like spells for me is hard to be like, how could I use this outside the box?
Right.
Whereas like other people in our group are really good at like using it in interesting ways, and it's always so much fun.
Yeah.
Like especially in the middle of like a really important combat moment, and someone uses something so ingeniously. And you're like,
it's like that's such a creative, good idea.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And also, I will say, like, there comes a point when you've been playing D&D long enough, because it's been 4 years now for us.
It's been a long time. 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like, when you've been playing that many years,
It's been 5 years.
No way.
Because
We started in 21.
I'm sorry, 4 years.
4 years. Okay. Yeah. When you like start to become so familiar with lots of like lore and spells that things aren't as surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
So like one of the reasons why I loved your hag characters was like I didn't know much about hags, so like I was so like I have no idea what this is, and that's so fun and exciting as a character.
Yeah.
Which is also so fun and exciting when you're playing with like homebrew worlds, like the last 2 campaigns, like the one we're doing now, and then the one that you did, Joe, last campaign was homebrew worlds. So like that's really fun because you're like I have no like there could be some lore in here, but most of it. Like I have no clue what it's going to be. It's not like going to like Baldur's Gate or something.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think it's fun to take character choices or take magic items or put magic items in your game or take spells that are like, I might never use this, but like if you do, it could be really creative and interesting if you can find a way to use it. So that was like with the hag abilities, like it was really it was like stuff that like on its own is not super strong.
Yeah.
Like there was stuff like you could see through the person's eyes for like a minute.
Yeah.
Which is like not bad, but like if you need to know where they are, but it's not necessarily like game changer. But like if you could figure out when to use it, like it could be pretty good, you know? So, but that's it's an interesting, because you're right, Laura, like you get to a point where like everything's kind of like, I've seen this before.
Yeah. And then you're trying to play with the misbelief or the lack of knowledge your character has, even though as the player you have it.
Yeah. And
versus,
it's tough.
Yeah, like it's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, Josiah, thoughts? Any thoughts?
No. Very cool.
I think it's time for an ad.
Okay. Who did that last time?
I think I did.
I think you did too. Guys, I have great news.
Oh, you found it. Did you find it?
Did you find the music again?
It's back. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Finally.
Oh, good.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
Can you keep it on deck for
Yeah,
our
Alyssa, that
moment of
was our-
silence?
What am I singing?
The trivia.
Yep. I'm a silly goose.
Come on, Alyssa.
God,
silly
silliest goose
goose.
over here. Joe, I think it's your turn.
It's definitely not. I went recently.
Really?
I think so.
You just went, so it's Josiah's turn.
Oh.
No, Josiah just did the Clippy Boys, so maybe it is me.
I think it
no,
is.
I did not do the Clippy Boys.
Yes, you did.
I think you did.
You asked us all. You said to everyone, now I bet you're wondering
What the Clippy Boys are.
Clippy Boys.
This episode is not
That's
supposed
an
to
interesting
be
name. Yeah, we're not. Sorry, boys.
Wait a minute. So that happened, and then what was after that? Laura.
Then
right?
Laura did good food, and then I
Good
did
food,
something
so it
really
is
stupid.
like-
Oh, you did.
Stupid.
You did
I did
chip.
good food.
Chip.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Boys.
did something bits.
I
Wonder
think
bits.
I
Yeah.
think this is actually an ad for all 4 of us.
No, I think it's
Oh.
Joe. I really do think it's Joe.
I
this
think
time.
it. I think
He
it's.
said no one stop.
He
Yeah.
used his no and stop.
hit a no
I
but.
respect it.
Yeah.
Joe, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I was joking the whole time. I knew it was I had it because we're professionals.
There it is
We're
in your
real.
yeah, and
hands.
he's got the ad read right there.
Look at
Here
that
it
paper.
is.
He's been waving it around this whole time.
Dylan from down the street says, hey, can you shout out my rock collection? I really like it. I'll give someone 25 cents if they want a rock. Dylan, you're supposed to get them to pay you money for the rock. Thank you very much.
What if we just end the episode right there? What if that's just the
No,
end?
because we have to do the trivia.
Yeah,
And I have to be right.
every time.
Yeah.
So we're coming down to the wire on these trivia.
I'm gonna be. I lose. I've already lost.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you, Dylan, for sponsoring the episode. Dylan's Rock Collection.
Are you? Oh,
The other,
you.
there are other ones
the
right
pod
there.
decks
So I
are
just
right
want-
there.
It's time for a pod deck. Pod deck. Pod. Josiah just drops all of it. Oh no.
Is the song? Can I ask? Oh wait, no. I'll save this. No, I can't save this. Laura's in action now.
She's flipping.
Laura's
Laura's
flipping?
taking action. Ugh. Come on. She got it.
She's flipping. Cartwheel. Here we go.
Whoa.
Cartwheel. There it is.
That was cool.
I'm flipping.
Ah,
I'm flipping.
Stuck
Oh.
the landing.
Stuck it. Yeah, hey, you missed
I
one.
think you sat on one too.
It's so much closer to me, and I pointed to it and said, hey, you missed one.
Oh, that was your phone. Okay.
I know you could have grabbed that.
Whose turn is it?
Someone has to roll. Someone has
Josiah,
to roll
you
the dice.
roll. You
Here,
have
I'll
dice
take
open.
those and hand them to you.
Wait, Laura, have you ever rolled?
I don't think I have.
It's your turn. I just rolled recently, I think, for the first time.
I'm gonna use my Whirlwind dice, my blue one.
Oh.
2.
2. Here
Now
you go.
you pick, Josiah.
I did. She had the whole stack, and I said, "Here, I'll take those and hand them to you." And she, without thinking about what I said, just handed them to me, and I'm like, "I'm gonna hand them right back."
I
Well,
don't
Josiah's
think I was
forfeited
fully
his
on
position.
board.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that because I'm having a nice time.
Ooh, this is a good one.
What deck is it?
This is the
interview deck.
second edition.
That was quite loud with the mic coming up here.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Also, did you guys know that if you're in movement, your pitch gets higher?
Yeah, check this out.
What do you mean?
Like when you're walking?
Like, you know when a race car drives by
Yeah.
and it sounds really high-pitched? It's because it's in fast movement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
like
I've never
that-
thought
that-
about it,
yeah.
but
Wait,
that does make
But
sense.
no,
Wait.
not because the engine's working hard. Like the actual pitch.
Right, the pitch
Yeah,
The
itself.
yeah.
actual pitch itself
Right, 'cause it's so
increases
fast.
because
That's why
Fascinating.
that's why bugs are so loud. Because they're going so fast. I mean, so high. 'cause
Yeah.
They're going so fast.
So,
Fascinating.
like, technically, if you were screaming from a race car, I know this from a dropout video. If you were
Nice.
screaming from, like, if you were singing from a race car, your pitch, you would hit higher notes.
Interesting. Why are you throwing this to me?
Because you're gonna put the card back in there.
Oh, okay. So this is the pod deck question.
Wait, they did that and
Yeah,
it worked?
yeah, because he wanted
What?
he wanted to hit this note that he was never able to hit before, and so he was like, "We're gonna do this from a race car," and so he started singing the note as the car was driving, and he was able to hit it because of the
So
speed.
fascinating.
Yeah.
That is
Weird.
wild. The question this week is, what's the weirdest tradition your family has?
Ooh,
This is a good one.
I have too many. Okay, I'll start. I'll give 2 of them.
I hope you give one of the ones I'm thinking.
Oh.
But you go first.
Okay. Well, one of them, both of them are actually if we're in the car and if we're driving. And if we pass any like bamboo growing on the side of the road, we all go bamboo.
Okay, never mind. That's weird.
And if we ever see a car with a kayak on the top, we all go yak 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 yak.
you guys,
That the
you
fact
guys
that you were
literally-
raised like that explains everything.
so much.
It explains everything.
This,
kinda does.
this reminds me of one of those families from a vacation movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like The
Wow.
Vacation or something else.
Bamboo.
Or it's like, have you ever seen where the Robinsons, where the We're the Millers.
We're the Millers. That
We're the
movie's
Millers.
Funny.
You know the family they meet on the road?
Yes.
It's like, hey neighbor, like that's your
That's
family.
your
That's them.
yeah, it's not the Millers. It's the family they
they're
meet.
not the main characters of the movie,
Yeah.
but they're the family that you meet on the way.
Yeah.
The main characters look a little bit more normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They go, every time we pass kayaks, we go, yak, 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 yak. The whole family starts doing it.
And then you
the
get
main
it.
characters go, that was weird.
And then you have an intercutting scene of them driving the car, listening to normal music, and then the other scene, yak, 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 yak.
And then the main people go, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I want to know what you thought I was gonna say.
Well, I guess it's not a weird one, but I think one of my favorite traditions your family does is the pumpkin chucking.
I was going to say that too.
Oh yeah, every Thanksgiving everybody brings their pumpkins to my aunt's house and we throw them off the deck. And there's a huge point system and there's different like tricks and different things you can do. And there's a big
Your
winner
aunt's
at the
backyard's a
end.
big hill.
Yeah, it's a big hill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
it's-
fun.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
It's like
too.
those like slingshot ranges or whatever, but for
Yeah.
like you know you can set up all the little bottles or whatever. It's like that, but it's like down a hill.
Yeah,
try to
kinda.
hit the little targets and ramps or whatever with the
Yeah.
pumpkin. Yeah, it looks fun.
Anyway, what about you guys?
This
This ain't the Alyssa show.
I'm trying to think of something weird. Most of mine are like pretty normal, I would say. Like I have some like I have some like traditions in my family that are cultural, but like I don't have like any unique to my family.
Yeah, I mean, Alyssa should have gone last, to be honest. Let's face it. Those are pretty good ones.
Yeah,
Unless Josiah, you have some good ones.
I'm trying. Well, I can't think of any.
What about you and Micah's birthday card thing?
That's like not my whole family though. That's just like
He's a part of your family.
Yeah, he's in your family.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm trying to think of something that like my whole family was kind of in on.
I know when I was younger, there's a family that my family was very close with, and they used to come over a lot, and we would order Chinese food for dinner, and we'd all go in the front yard and hold hands and dance around in a circle chanting Chinese food until it got there. We used to go in the front yard and go, Chinese food, Chinese food, Chinese food. And then the driver would roll up and we'd all be in the front yard.
Okay,
that's awesome.
We were really little, and I kind of want to bring it back, Loki.
Oh, man.
I have another one. I could just provide one for each of us.
Yeah, sure. This
Go ahead.
This one counts as Josiah's.
Okay, this is Josiah.
Say it as if Josiah does it.
Okay, I'll say it as if it's Josiah. Josiah, when he was growing up, used to...
I already don't like it.
No, I'm just gonna say this myself. Growing up, we had a lot of different families would come and live with us in our basement. For this, it's a long story, but we had different families who would come live with us for 9 months at a time. And one of the families, they were from Florida, and so around. Can I say Jimmy Cone? That kind of is very locational.
They're gonna know exactly where to find where I live, and they're gonna take all my stuff.
Okay, all right. So we would do this thing. There is a local ice cream place that's local to just where we're from, and we would do this thing where all of the kids would have already gone to bed. They had no idea this was coming. We're all in our jammies, our PJs. And the parents would come and wake us all up out of our beds and come in, turn the lights on, yelling. So we haven't fallen asleep quite yet, but they would come in and go, "Jammy ride!" And everyone would bust in the room and get really excited, and you had to get up, and you would get to go, and everybody would pile in the car in their jammies, their PJs, and go and get ice cream from this local ice cream place that we all loved.
That's fun.
So we also used to
really
do jammy
fun.
rides. Yeah.
That's really
I thought of one, and it's really small, but it is funny
There you
because
go.
we pretty much do it every time we eat dinner as a family, which is anytime we're having steak, we like to have horseradish on the side sometimes, if it's a flank steak or something like that. And we always do the thing where we try to get the hottest horseradish we can find, a really good horseradish from the store, and eat a big thing of it to the point where it hurts.
Nice.
We usually the first few bites, everyone in the family's well, not everyone, but usually there's people tears coming down your eyes for a second where you're this is so spicy.
Nice.
And that's what we've always done is big horse.
I love that.
That was lame.
Yeah, we all chug horseradish.
I love it. No, that's great.
But it's just one of those
That's
things
fun.
that we all just, I don't know.
That
we
just-
just
that
do.
counts.
Don't you
That
guys have a
counts.
tradition too of on game nights you always end with a certain game?
That's only been recent.
Okay.
We do the horse racing game.
Okay.
That's only been the last 2 years.
Gotcha. Well, that's
Yeah.
fun.
But that's fun.
All right, Josiah, we need something.
I can't think of anything.
Josiah's too cool.
No, it's just the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's not my family just did weird things, but
They weren't traditions.
None of them were consistent.
Sure.
Yeah,
every year
that's
was
what I'm
just a
thinking.
new weird thing.
Yeah.
That happens with my family
So there
too.
weren't I don't think we were really big on traditions. We would try to be we liked the idea of traditions, but nothing really stuck. We just kept on doing weird stuff for 2 years at a time.
To be honest, the only tradition we actually do is we get back to Chinese food. We get Chinese food every Christmas Eve, but a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
So
I just thought of 3 more, but we can move on.
Your family is a very
We're
traditional
a weird.
family.
We just like to
I
do
will say.
traditions. A lot of
You guys do.
weird traditions.
I appreciate that about you guys. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
that's fun.
that is fun.
Yeah.
Well, That was a great pod deck. What's next? Oh, take of the week, right?
Take of the week.
Take of the week.
Take of the week. Take of the week. Take of the week.
We need some theme songs on a soundboard now. Like
So
some
true.
like little intros things.
We can make one right now.
Or we
for
just need a
Take of the Week.
soundboard just so that your music is more at the ready.
That's true.
My music's always at the ready, man.
Sometimes
No,
it
but
takes
like
a while.
you know how like anytime
Guys.
there's a dead silence, you want the ad music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be.
Well,
fun to
you
have.
said that actually. You said that I want
You've
the
done it a
music.
couple of times and it was really funny.
I don't know if I actually have.
I think
I think
you
it was
have.
just one time.
But it was really funny.
Take of the week.
Okay. You go first. I can go first if you can't go
Yeah,
first.
go first.
Okay. My take of the week is that yesterday I, with a friend who will not be named, just, so for their own security reasons.
It was me.
Security reasons.
For their own
It was
safety, I won't mention them.
It was me.
Went to a 10:15 p.m. IMAX showing of Snow White.
That's the most random thing I've ever seen you guys do.
And yeah, my take is it was subpar. Is what I'll say.
Yeah. I'll go a step further and say it was just not great.
Okay.
Okay, that's your take of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a take.
Okay, I have a take. The other night I was hanging out with some friends and they decided to go see Snow White and not wait for me. And that really hurt.
I found my take. So I got a text message after our D&D game and I was going home to go to sleep, and I get a text message of two of my friends at the movie theater to see Snow White, and I never got an invite. So that made me feel a little bit.
Wow.
Bonus take
What
of
a,
the
what a
week.
cool little coinky dink that we all have Snow White related stories.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I won't name who I went with, but those people that you guys are talking about sound like the worst.
Yeah, they were mean.
No, I was like, I thought it was stupid because it's literally like 10:15 on a Monday night. Like, what?
I know.
At 10 o'clock, we were like, "There's a show."
There's
I
There's a
can't- I
showing,
literally
and we could
couldn't
totally
believe
get
it.
there.
I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you guys
And
doing?
here's the, well, actually,
Bonus take.
I'm gonna amend my take of the week.
Yeah, I know
and
what it
it's
is.
Connected to this whole
That's right.
tale. The reason that we at 10:15 decided to go see Snow White in IMAX
Is
was
because we
paid
love the character.
We
Oh.
paid $0 for it. You know why we paid $0 for it?
Ooh, shout out.
Because we got AMC A-list. We're A-listers, which means AMC for the love of Snow White.
Oh,
Go
no.
ahead, Joe. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go first.
No, please.
You have to
please,
go first.
Please indulge me.
You have to go first.
Please.
I am acknowledging you right now. You go first.
No, you'll forget if you don't say it right
No,
now.
I won't. I won't. It's fresh in my
It's okay,
brain.
go, Josiah.
The reason that we went to go see Snow White in IMAX at 10:15
I'm on the edge of my seat, Josiah.
it's because of a little thing called AMC A-list. Joe and I, you see, we are A-listers at AMC
Wow.
globally. And you know what that
Wow.
means? That means that every AMC theater, every reclining chair in any AMC theater around the world,
They belong to us now.
they belong to us. They
They're
are our
thrones.
thrones. We reign like kings. And
man.
they pay us to be there. That's right.
Uh-huh.
They
That's
are
right.
paying us to go watch movies.
That's
Now, the one stipulation though is you when they pay you, you must, and I mean you must, spend that money on watching movies in their theaters.
That's right.
Right.
We
but
can't take
but
that
it's-
money out of the theater,
But it's free money.
but it's free money.
And
money
so
and
we're
a good
now
time.
we're now professional movie watchers. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's
I mean, you take this very seriously.
We're
This
movie
is-
buffs. It's time to get serious about movies.
It's
Yeah.
time to get
And
serious about
We are the kings of the cinema now.
That's right. Josiah, in fact, even
Yeah, the first movie
Josiah
we went to.
We also saw a movie on Sunday, and
Yeah.
Josiah goes, "Just so you know, we have a servant bringing us popcorn."
to our seats.
And I said, "What?" He goes, "I paid an extra $2 to have a guy bring me my popcorn."
That's correct.
And I was like, "It's Sunday. There's no one gonna be there. And he was like, well, and there was like just us in the theater.
Yeah. And the
there was
servants
no one
brought
in-
us
There was
popcorn.
no one in line for concessions.
No one was in line. In fact, it would have been faster. I would have gotten my
It would have
popcorn
been
sooner if
faster
I
for
just
him.
got it myself.
And
it would have
Josiah-
been better.
It would have been better because Josiah goes, I asked for extra butter, and there was not a drop of butter on it.
Yeah. No, it was bone dry.
It was bone dry popcorn. But I was gonna throw on another take. For some reason, Margs last week at freaking bleep the name videos were half off. I don't know
What?
why.
And we
so
missed it?
I don't know why, but Josiah and I went to before, and we each got $5 marks.
Wow.
And then we went to see
That's
a movie.
actually that's a
That
lie.
sounds
You got a
so-
$5
I got a
mark.
$5 mark.
I got a mojito.
Yeah.
So
Was yours half?
no.
Mine was.
Well, this take segment has already taken far longer than we ever intended.
Yeah,
it
and it's
for
a
it
rare
to.
thing. It's a rare thing when all of our
It's a
takes
rare
connect to the same event, and it's a rare thing that Joe and I have kind of a shared take.
Mm-hmm.
That never. It's very rare. So when it happens, you just kind of have to let it happen. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
All right, shall we get back to the trivia?
No, it's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Is it trivia time?
Yeah, I
I
think so.
think it's about time.
Okay. In Chapter 10, June decides to buy a motorcycle. The group finds themselves in a large city in the middle of the night. They go to a smoke shop, go to a strange restaurant with a twist, and eventually meet Caspian, who's one of the original members of the Order of Moths. A lot happens on this trip, but what was the book's original task to them? We'll start with the most unconfident person, Alyssa.
I think I feel confident all of a sudden.
Okay.
Whoa.
I think it might be Meet the Supplier, MEAT.
Interesting. Laura?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Interesting. Josiah?
I too was going to say the same
Wow,
thing. Meet
wow,
the
wow.
supplier, MEAT.
I think I gave it away when I started laughing.
Sir, we got it's interesting. We have to meet this guy.
I'm down for a challenge. We'll keep it. Yeah, it says MEAT. It says meet the supplier.
Let's go. Meet the supplier.
Wow.
And then-
Everybody gets a point.
Can you go? Do you have the part on hand? How I got around that very quickly? How I so expertly skirted
no, I
around
don't.
that?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
everything.
One of the
was
first
EA.
things you guys saw as you were walking through was a sign that had like a street name, and street was spelled STREAT.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's just the way they spelled it there.
Yeah.
So our
Well-
current standings are Laura with 11, Alyssa with 8, and Josiah with 9. So it is close.
Wow, wow,
It is
wow.
close. We only
Wait, I'm in the lead?
have no.
You're second place.
Wait,
you've got
start
9.
over again.
You're ahead
Laura
of
with
me.
11.
Oh, you didn't you gotta go in like ascending or descending order. Or
I'm reading
something.
them in the way that they're on my phone.
You don't reorganize them every time the score updates?
No.
What are you doing? No, I'm
Laura
kidding.
with 11, Alyssa with 8, Josiah with 9. It's close. We have 2 more rounds, which means that Laura has already locked down. Oh, that's not true. If Laura gets the next 2 wrong, then Josiah can tie. But
There's no way that I'm getting the
Alyssa
next
is
2 right.
officially not winning this season, but she could come second.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Thanks so much for listening.
thanks so much.
That
for
really
listening.
depends on which trivia questions you select, because if it's another 3-part, that has 3 points.
That's true.
That's a
And
good
I get
point.
none of them right.
I
and
should have
Alyssa
a
gets
really
all of them
That's
right.
a
crazy
good.
Yeah, you should make it so that it's
But,
anybody's game.
Oh.
Joe could rig it so that anyone could win.
I'm gonna announce at
gosh.
the end I win.
Ah.
Bye.
Thanks for being here.
I don't think we've ever ended an episode like that before. Just bye.
Bye.
I feel like we did one weird ending one, but I don't know.
Well, I wonder when we'll actually end this one.